live. We are live. We are live. Happy Saturday. Welcome back. Loving it at 55 plus. Welcome back to another live edition of Saturday Night Live in the group. If you can't tell already, I hope you are wearing your comfortable clothes because this is not a regular sit back and spectate event this week, okay? I am wearing my comfortable workout clothes. As you can see, we have a special guest that looks a little athletic, okay? And of course, my dad has to do his own little dress code. But anyway, before we get started, you know what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to handle my scandal. I'm going to share this broadcast on my page. I'm going to share it on my dad's page. And this will be an awesome time for you to share the video on your page. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to turn it over to the man of the hour, Mr. Michael Briggs.
Yes, Facebook friends. This is your boy, Papa T. I just want to say a special good afternoon going out to all my Facebook friends. Again, I want to say a special thank you for everyone that messaged and texted and phoned and called and whatever means necessary to interact with me. Again, it's a pleasure coming here, just what we're trying to do here, we're trying to aspire to inspire. And I just feel as though that for the little time that I have left on this earth is that if I can help someone as I travel on, then my living would definitely not be in vain. Again, I want to thank my daughter, who's my rock, for always being there for me, being my main support. Thank you for those that were here from day one in terms of my diet. Want to let you know that everything has gone fine. We want to say a special thank you to Miss Leek for taking her time and giving the time to us and trying to aspire to inspire. We just found that we have a little bit of connection here. I'm from Trinidad, and her parents are from Trinidad, so we could say what on.
Big up. For real.
Again,
All right.
Again, thank you. Stacey's over to you.
All right. So, like I said, if you're just tuning in and you're wondering why your girl is just looking so natural and laid back, it's because today I am ready to move. So let me know in the comments if you're watching this live, you know the deal. Say hello in the comment. And if you are catching this on the replay, hashtag replay or replay in the comments so we know that you are rocking with us. I see we have a couple of people already in the group, so you know what to do. Just go ahead and say hello. And I hope you have your comfortable clothes on because we are going to move our body. Rachel is a friend of mine. We met a few years ago in a leadership program, and we've been inseparable ever since.
Yeah.
She's a writer. She's also she's a yoga instructor and also training to get her certification. And I'm just so happy, honored. I feel so blessed that she's able to spend some time with us this evening. Hello, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel, how are you?
Hi, Dad. How are you? Yes, big ups to the Trinidad in the building. Yes.
Hey.
Yes. I was born in Brooklyn, but again, exactly, my parents are from Trinidad. So yes, the connection is there.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about why you started doing yoga. Why is yoga so important to you? Like, what is the deal? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So yoga is so near and dear to my heart. I'll just start in the way back because I've been athletic for the entirety of my life. Like I remember when I was younger and, you'd have the street races on the block and everybody running up and down the block and everything like that. And I'll run and I'll beat the boys and I'll come back and things like that. So life has always just made sense to me through the body. And from high school, I ran track and I earned a scholarship to college. And from there, I was running track in college as well. And it just has always been so fruitful to move the body. And from there, I continued. I was a collegiate athlete, but in addition to that, I worked on the backside of sport as well. So I've worked at Rutgers University, UNC, Columbia, here in New York City, but I've also worked at other professional organizations. So I've worked at the United States Olympic Committee as well as at USA Baseball. So in different facets, I've been involved with sport. And for me, being administrator just was not enough. And now I'm back in front of, a class or back in front of people, really just to engage with the body and really just train and teach the people the importance of how we maintain this body so that way we can live to a long age and still be vital. There's no reason that says that just because we age, we have to, break down in that kind of way. We can still be vital all the way through. So for me,
Yeah, and that's great. I'm glad that you are talking about movement, but as you know, movement
Mhm.
has been a challenge for a lot of people over the last 7 months, 7 or 8 months, with quarantine, with the weather,
Yeah.
with COVID and with everything else that's going on. I
Mhm.
mean, like my dad, he's out, he's moving, he's golfing, but there are many people who don't have any extracurricular activities, or
Right.
they're too afraid to leave their home. They're too afraid to do any of those things.
Right.
And that is causing a lot of additional symptoms, right? So
Right.
that's why I love that. That's why I love the title of your YouTube video. And we'll talk about your YouTube channel. But you titled it like "Sore Mind, Sore Body," and I didn't even think about like, yeah, your mind can be sore, your spirit can be sore, your body can be sore, but yeah, so we've been limited with our movements. Even
Mhm.
when you do go out, you're not going to stay out that long. So
Right.
I just thought it was just critical for you to come in
Mhm.
and not just show us, not
Mhm.
just tell us, but
Mhm.
show us what we
Mhm.
can do, and hopefully we could move along with you.
Right. And that fatigue that you're talking about, exactly how you said, um, just manifests in the body. So stress in itself, it can be mental in the sense that we think about something and then it causes this physical response. And stress is exactly that. It's this chemical hormonal response that our body does to the thought that we are in danger, right? So we're no longer hunter gatherers in the woods and getting chased by a wild boar, and we have to automatically switch to fight or flight and run away. But just the thought of like a bill or anything that can create that fatigue in the mind, your body will respond in the same way. So that would increase the cortisol in the body. That would cause your muscles to tighten up. It will increase your heart rate to quicken, right? And so all of these manifestations of stress still exist right now. And we as human beings, we have to create and implement ways for us to, you know, calm the sympathetic nervous system and allow our bodies to kind of like come back down into like a homeostasis kind of state. And
Mhm.
that's so important because if we don't, then our bodies stay up in this energized, fatigue state, and it's not good. Our heart are not meant to beat so fast for that long duration of time. So the prospect of stress it has its function, right? Like it treats us and it allows us to really just regulate and be able to take care of ourselves in the case that we are in danger. But it's not something that's supposed to be maintained for long periods of time, which is something that not just Americans, but humans all across the world are dealing with, especially now in COVID and in these home states. And the good thing about yoga that I find is that you don't need a space any bigger than the area of your mat, right? So maybe it's like 6 feet by 2 feet wide, and maybe you don't even have a mat, but you just have a soft carpet, or you got good knees and you can get down on some hardwood. You're able
Yeah.
you're able to you're able to create space very much in your body as well in your mind, and have that flexibility to say, okay, now I know that my body is feeling it right now. How about I take this moment to engage with my breath and calm the nervous system in that way.
So
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a question for you. So a question actually popped up in the group. Well, it was a statement kind of in the form of a question about stress.
Hmm.
And I find that a lot of people don't even know that they are stressed
Hmm.
because it's become so normalized, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like your reality because you're just constantly going and running and going and going. And like you said, it's like a survival mechanism, but you're in survival mode so long
Yeah.
that you don't even know you're stressed. So for the person who doesn't know that they are stressed,
Right.
right? Or you, because I'm one too, that I have to kind of self-assess
Mhm.
because I can keep going as well. I have to kind of look at myself and say, well, what's off and what's not off. But some people, again, they're just in that go mode. They don't know
Right.
when they are stressed. What are some? I know you said the increased heart rate, but
Hmm.
for people who, like, say, internalize, that was my point I was getting to.
Right.
You internalize it so that you can keep going. You don't need anything to slow you down. What
Right.
are some of those symptoms of internalizing? How does somebody even know that they're stressed?
Right. So I would say the big two areas where you can very quickly realize that something is off. You might not know that it's stress, but you can feel that offness is the inability to fall asleep. And then also like disordered eating. So sometimes when our anxiety is so high, we're able to run on fumes because, again, that fight or flight system, our body is flooding us with hormones and adrenaline. So that way we can keep going, again, running from that wild boar. You don't need, it shuts down the digestive system, it shuts down the rest and digest system. And so it really moves the blood flow to your muscles and these other areas. And that manifests in you not being able to sleep because your mind is running and literally your body is running, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's a major area. If you have difficulty falling asleep at night, if you have difficulty staying asleep at night because your hormones are physically trying to keep you awake and, away from danger, that's a huge area. And then also when it comes to eating, if you are able to go long periods of time and like almost forget to eat, like I know I've done that when I've been in school. I would go, it would be wild. I would be able to go hours and hours of studying and not eat. And I have to remind or set an alarm to really eat because I wouldn't take that break. Your body is able to run that survival mode. So if
I
that,
didn't realize that was part of stress.
what did you say?
I said I didn't realize that was part of stress.
Yeah, and it's a major thing because and that's why I said disordered eating, because sometimes people overeat when they're stressed because that stress hormone, it allows us to consume and it allows us to kind of like feel good, right? Because stress is that you're in fear, you're in danger, and so your body will always actively reach to areas where it can calm down or try to. And so disordered eating, whether that looks like overeating or just being able to skip meals because you're just so manic and running on that on fumes, so stress and eating would be really those two main areas. And the way those can also manifest in the body is that you might have diarrhea or constipation. Your digestive system, again, the blood flow moves away from it. So the really two systems in your body are the parasympathetic system, which is the rest and digest. That's where your body is able to like come back into homeostasis. It's able to level out. You're able to really bring that focus back to the breath. And then there's the sympathetic nervous system, and that's the fight or flight. So that's the exact one that is activated when you are stressed. So you want to be able to go back to rest and digest and stay away from fight or flight, basically. In a
Mm-hmm.
nutshell, really, really.
Okay.
Right, right. And I noticed also in the last couple of months, we've been hearing that mental health is
Mhm.
on the rise. So whether it be anxiety, depression, a lot of people are getting triggered within this time. People who aren't ordinarily triggered. Again, like I have to use myself as an example.
Right,
I'm a person that just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. But
right.
even me, the strong one or the strong friend, they say check on your strong friend
You've
because you
got
never
to.
know. But even me, the strong one, at times, I mean, how much can one person take? You know what I mean? Like with
Right.
everything that's going on, at
Hmm.
times I start to feel anxiety and like, when is this going to be over? When
Right,
is this going to be over?
right.
If you don't get yourself back into alignment. And I know that you were talking about your own experiences with anxiety and how that tied into yoga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially that. So now we're spending so much time at home, right? And I was just talking to my boyfriend about it. And he would say, "I'm bored," and so we'd end up watching TV for however
You
long.
see that right there, I'm bored. Something like that would not bother me 6 months ago, but if
Right,
my kids say I'm bored now, it just makes me like, okay, what can I do? Because I don't want, because I'm bored now is like, I don't want them to start having mental, breakdowns, and I have to
right,
be on top of that. So a simple statement as I'm bored now can start to give me anxiety. Even me
right.
just saying it, I was just like, who's
Mm.
It was
bored?
triggering.
Who's
It was
bored? Oh my
it was
gosh.
Right. But I say that to say that now when we're home for so long, we try to find things to do. And so we're increasing our screen time. This blue light that is on our screens, I mean, the data is out there. That's why we encourage blue light glasses when you're on the screen for a long time, or your iPhone like tints itself in the nighttime, is because this is something that stimulates the body. And so your body is continuously being in this engaged state. And we watch our iPhones, we look at our phones into the bed, it was the first thing we do when we wake up. Your body is continuously in this alert state, where we're not in a position, if you're not careful, to really mellow back out. And so it's so important to be conscious about the times that you are taking in order to wind down at night and really getting into a routine. I would say for myself, I had to get into a practice where, okay, I'm putting on this diffuser, I'm putting a little bit of lavender inside of it. So now when I hear that, when I smell that smell, I know my mind, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to, really creating a routine for your body to really get into this rest and peaceful state and no longer be engaged.
Yeah.
We're really in this daylight savings time. So the
Oh
night
my God.
comes,
And
listen, night
another
comes
thing,
at 4:30 in the
another thing.
afternoon, right? And so it almost tricks your mind, because I know, and with myself, I'll speak for myself, 4:30 comes and I'm like, oh, it's nighttime, but it's like, no, it's really not. And so it's
No,
really
you
a
got so
mind
much
game.
more to go.
Right. It's a mind game. And exactly how you said, we're staying home so much more. So we it it is definitely a conscious effort. It's not just something that's going to be intuitive, right? We're no longer running around from work and hopping on the train and getting on the bus, and we're coming home and we're fatigued. And so our body is physically tired. We're just making our 10 steps up and down the stairs to the kitchen and back to the bedroom. And so our bodies are physically not expended. So our bodies have energy. And then on top of that, we're stimulating it through the media. We're stimulating it, just thinking about the presidency, thinking about COVID, thinking about this and that and third. Your mind is continuously running. And so it really is a conscious effort to step away from all of those, stimulating elements and bringing it back to the self, really.
Wow, that was such a great point, because that whole I'm bored thing, you
Hmm.
want to fill up the space where
Right,
you wouldn't necessarily want to fill up that space before. But when you're in these four walls, what are your options to fill the space?
right.
TV. I mean, yes, Netflix has a variety of 100,000 shows to choose from, but
Right.
that is still, again, that attention on that screen. I didn't realize how much that was overly stimulating. Between the TV screen, the computer screen, and our phone screen,
Mhm.
it's just not really giving us a chance to wind down.
Yeah.
Papa Briggs, any are you hearing any resonance in what Rachel is talking about?
No, I can clearly identify with whatever that she's saying. Just looking forward to the little, you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
the little
good
body response.
grief.
Right. So I just wanted to share just a few more symptoms, just because you asked, Papa Briggs, and I wanted to share a few more symptoms that manifest as stress. So a big response, going back to the sympathetic versus the parasympathetic system, is really just how the blood flow is working, right? So when we're in fight or flight, the body diverts blood flow and therefore attention to the organs that will not play any role in our survival, right? So we're now diverting all of our attention to like our muscles. We're diverting all the attention to like our heart, and we're there's this response that's happening where it literally is pulling the blood away from the brain and these other elements. And so from the digestive system, the reproductive system as well. And so when that stress level is increased, we have increased chances of headaches, increased likelihood of depression, because you're in this fear state, right? You're not going to be happy while you're in a fear state, right? Increase of heartburn because your body is creating more stomach acid. There's insomnia, like how I said about the sleeplessness, the rapid breathing, increased risk of heart attack, simply because if your heart's pumping so frequently and so quickly, then your arteries are under increased stress. Then there's also fertility issues that can come from chronic stress, and simply because the blood is being diverted from your reproductive tract. So if you're a young person and you are constantly under stress, that can, be troublesome for, erectile dysfunction, or just if for a woman, you can miss your periods altogether because of it. So those, again, I just wanted to make sure I give that like exhaustive list.
Right.
It really does manifest in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad is so excited to get towards but of course, I just wanted to give a nice, robust intro into exactly what we're doing and why it's so important. And I think again, that question in the group, is that on that my end?
That
Okay.
I apologize.
That's okay. The question in the group led me to believe that there are people that don't even recognize their own stress.
Right.
They don't know their stress, because they're like, what stress?
That's the baseline.
This is the baseline. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But that can just lead to a lot of other complications. So I'm just going to jump into chat right here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, loving it at 55 plus. If you are watching us live, go ahead and say hello in the chat. I see Auntie Cheryl. She says, "Hello, family. We are comfortable here." That means she's ready to rock and roll. Okay. And she also said, "Hot green tea relaxes me to go to sleep."
Yes, ma'am.
So, what'd you say?
I said she has a routine.
Yes.
Exactly. So that routine, I mean, for the month of October, that was one of the things on my accountability list, as the things I was holding myself accountable for, was to have what do they call it? A winning morning routine. Not so much the night routine, but the morning routine. Because a lot of successful people and business gurus, they all have this winning morning routine. But one thing I will say about a morning routine, or even a night routine, sometimes the mind is going so rapidly that it doesn't even allow you to stick to this routine. So if, for instance, I want to wake up and have a moment of silence, gratitude, movement, prayer, it's almost like before my eyes even open, my day is already started.
I hear you.
My eyes are closed, and I've already planned my whole day. I've already thinking about so many different things, replaying different things. So when we talk about routine, I mean, on paper, yes, we need to have a routine to go to bed, a routine to wake up, a routine even to eat. Sometimes, again, that mind, that stimulation, it does not shut off. So hopefully the moves that you're working with us to show us today would help to add to that calmness and to that peace, right?
Right. And I just want to add, okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to add about two things, because you said so many times we're not self-aware about our stress, but others are. And so a lot of times what comes is, if you're living with your children or you're living with others, they will say, Mom, you're just a lot right now, or they'll tell you. And I think that sometimes we can be on the defense when we hear that, and we're just like, oh. But I think we really should take that moment to check in and say, okay, if this person is saying it, is because it's manifesting outward, right? And then secondly, I would also share about just think of your body as like a car, right? If you drive a car at 100 miles per hour every single day, for a long duration of time, not only are you going to need maintenance very frequently, but the chance of it breaking down altogether, increases exponentially rather than if you're doing it 20 miles an hour on the residential street, right? So we get to really think of we need to, as a human race, we really need to think of our bodies as these incredible,
machines,
or just beings that are systems, right? Like our oil needs to be changed. We need to rest. We need to drink some water. We need to do all these different things. So exactly how you're saying, getting into a routine where if you're just doing some yoga and chair practices right before bed will definitely allow that car to go from 100 right back down to 20, So I 100% agree with you.
I'm super excited because now we get to see some moves. And for some reason, what I was thinking about was couch potato. Couch potato. I don't know. I just, me, I'm creative. I just had this flash of couch potato.
Right.
It used to be couch potato. You just have the remote in your hand and you sit and you go from show to show to show.
Right.
You're not moving. Just the 10 steps to the kitchen, like you said, the 10 steps to the bathroom, and you come back. And then your body becomes stiff, your body becomes sore. And now couch potato is now morphed and evolved into the computer, the phone, and whatever else. Now we're on lockdown and quarantine, but now we're still not moving. So we're still technically the couch potato. So while you're on the couch, and the moves that you're going to show us today are moves that you can do while you're sitting down, right?
Absolutely. Yes. And so just to preface all of this, the main areas where the body stores stress is usually in the neck and the shoulders. So this is really where the moves that we're going to do this evening are going to focus on, because exactly how you said, if you keep your head in one position and you look at the TV for however long, or the screen, or or your phone, your neck is supporting.
Definitely.
Your head weighs about 10 pounds, like just straight up.
I think mine is a little bit more.
And then
especially now I got inches, child. Woo!
Hello, you see me too, right? So if you have any kind of protective style, or you have any kind of hair or whatever else is going on, your neck is really supporting all of this. And again, as the body, because it is just one big system, when the neck is taxed, it will distort that, it will distribute, I should say, that weight, and it will have it in the hips and the knees. So in our joints are the areas where our body balances our weight, right? So if the neck can't do it, it will send a shock down to the hips and say, hey, I need a little help here. And your hips will compensate. And that's how you end up with one high shoulder, one high, however it's going to go. Your knee is going to compensate for your hips. And then from your knees, your arches of your feet are going to compensate for those knees. So then you get this whole system where you're kind of wonky and you're leaning over to the side. So I think
I'm definitely guilty of doing the overcompensating, because I have like a little pain in my left knee for the past, I want to say, more than 5 years. And then you start overcompensating. And my dad also had what we thought was an injury in his left ankle, I believe. And now we found out that it's like a mild case of arthritis.
Oh, wow.
But he was doing that kind of overcompensating too. So that can probably play out in other areas, because you're helping it along by dragging it,
Right. And the biggest part of it is that we get to strengthen the areas that are weak, so that way we don't overcompensate. Because if one, and that's something that I'm experiencing right now, my lower back on the left side is a lot weaker than my right side, and so my right will take on extra weight, and it's like, wait, no, because you're taxing one area extra and you're not strengthening the other area. So now both of them are out of whack, so it really about getting things exactly how you said, back in alignment, back into just the proper movement. So,
well, I have somebody joining me today.
Yes.
I was trying to have both of my daughters join me, because we often joke around about text neck, but text neck is a real thing, right? You from texting, you get that. Samia, come.
And as we exactly with the text neck, as we bend our necks forward, right? So the body is just a system. we apply stress to the back of our neck, but at the same time, our back is what compensates. It allows it to be able to be bent for so long, and then you have back issues, right? And who wants back issues? Your back is your central, that's where everything really is connected. Your vertebrae are there. It's so important that we keep our spine, elongated and allowed to have the electrical currents that run up and down our body to the extremities to be just supported and healthy. So
Yeah. So that's good for that.
the back of that. And all the virtual learners, all the children that are doing this right now, I mean,
Yeah.
it's so important, right? All of us are working from home. All of us are really trying to figure out what this new normal looks like while home, and every day it changes. So we're all in this together, honestly.
Okay. All right. So tell us about what we're going to be doing.
Alrighty, so I'm going to push back just so you can see me a bit. Hopefully that you can still hear me. I'm gonna angle.
We can
Okay,
hear you.
perfect. I'm gonna angle the camera down so you can see me as well. I'm in a rolly chair, so at times I might turn to the side so you can see me as well. So we're gonna start again just with the shoulders being such a stability point within our body. We're gonna inhale in and draw the shoulders all the way up to our ears, and then exhale and let it go, right? And so we're gonna,
I like that.
yeah. And so it brings a lot of attention to the tense areas, right? So think about any kind of flexed muscle. When you flex it even more and then you allow it to relax, it really does allow it to relax. So we're going to do that about 2 more times, and then we're going to be able to switch to the different movements, to each different movement.
Okay.
So inhale in, draw the shoulders all the way up to our ears. Exhale, let it go. Inhale in, shoulders all the way up to the ears. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful. So now I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. I'm not doing anything with my legs, so they're just flat on the floor. You can cross them if that's comfortable for you as well. But for me, I like to keep them flat. What we're gonna do, we're gonna raise our hands straight up. And then we're gonna allow our right hand to rotate to grab this chair. And we're gonna use our left hand to grab the back of our chair. So you should feel this twist in your back body. And you can hold it here.
You can just follow me.
And
follow me.
And then if you're feeling a generous twist in your body, you can also tilt the neck back and down and up and down. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to release and twist to the. So I think the best way to describe it, because I see that it might be a little confusing. Think about like turning your whole body to one side and your legs to the other side, right? And so we're going to twist. We're going to go to the other side now.
All right, everybody, loving it at 55 plus. Don't be shy, okay? You might feel weird doing this at home, but nobody's there watching you. You can do this. You'll be fine. And it will help to loosen up those stress areas, your neck, your shoulders. So don't be shy, all right? Follow along.
Right. So again, we're going to raise the arms up, up, up. And we're going to bring our left arm. It's going to cross over our body, and it's going to exactly, Papa Briggs, you're going to land it right there on your armchair, and then take your right arm and bring it right behind. So you're going to get this twist in your body. Yep, to the back of your chair.
Okay.
You can feel a twist in the lower right back body. And then inhale in. You can raise the neck up. Exhale. Lower it down. Inhale in. Raise the neck up. Exhale. Lower it down. Beautiful. So I would repeat these, especially if you are a virtual learner and you're sitting in a chair very much for a long part of the day, you can twist it like that. This next move will be really great for
that sometimes, right? Do that.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So she's already hip. So we're gonna put the palms together in the front of the body. We're gonna inhale in, raise the arms up. So kind of like put your head in between your arms. Beautiful. And then you can, from here, I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see me. If you drop just your forearms, you should feel a really great stretch in the side body. So like right here and through your armpit and everything else. And this allows
Grandpa, your hand's stuck on it.
and it's fine. If you can only bring it to right here, that's absolutely fine. If you can get it from behind and bring it all the way down your back, then this will allow you to stretch right through the armpit and everything else. So this is something, and then exhale, you can let it all out. So we can do it again. Inhale in, bring the arms together. Exhale, move it up. Inhale in, drop it back. Exhale, let it go. So you should be feeling some generous stretching in the shoulders, in the armpit, on the side body as well.
I'm also feeling very, very grateful and blessed. I feel like I'm getting a personal trainer. I feel like I'm getting a one-on-one lesson.
Right.
And that's the thing with virtual, even
Yeah.
though you're in the room with so many people, I just feel like it's me and you.
Oh, that's beautiful. I wish it could be just me and you hanging out again.
So,
I miss my
hug.
friends. So the next one, we're going to take the right hand, with the left hand, either hand. We're going to take the left hand. You're going to gently tilt the head and bring it on the other side to your right ear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Papa, you might want to think about less moving it to the back of your head and more bringing it across your head. So bring it here. Right.
Right.
Right. So now we have our left hand right over our right ear, and we're going to pick up our right arm, and we're just going to pulse. So with the left hand, you want to create some traction, some tension here, and then you just want to pulse this right arm up and down. So you should be feeling a stretch in your neck, and if you tag some weight down onto your head, the movement of your arm will allow the stretching that's going to run from the back of your neck all the way through your shoulder and all the way through your arm. So hopefully you're feeling it. Again, we're going to drop the hand. We're going to use our right hand now. Inhale in, bring it to right over the left ear.
I think I was
right
this way.
Yes, switch hands. So you're going to use your right hand, put it over your left ear, tag some weight on it, pick up your left arm, and gently pulse it up and down.
Loving it at 55 plus. How you feeling out there? Type something. So I know you're doing okay. Let me know. Well, actually, you can't type. Never mind. Type after you do this move.
Right. Awesome. And so what you really want to consider when you're doing these is the alignment of your head. So I love the word that you brought up, alignment, because that's all that the body is. Like when we are in alignment, everything just flows so easily. So you always want to consider where your neck is positioned. And sometimes we don't even notice, but our heads can slightly tilt to the right, our heads can slightly tilt to the left, and just stay in that as a neutral position. And it's not actually neutral because we're engaging one side of our neck muscles more and another part of our neck is very weak, right? And again, once something is weak and once something is compensating for it, it offsets into the hips, it offsets into the shoulders and everything else like that. So this next move, I'm gonna tilt my camera down a little bit more so you can see me. Maybe that'll be better. Okay, perfect. So if you're in a computer chair like I am,
Mhm.
you can hold on to the side of your chair. From here, you want to tilt the bring chin to chest, tilt down. Inhale in. When you raise your head, you're also going to raise the heart. So inhale in, radiate the heart up. Exhale, round it through. So you really want to round your spine all the way.
Around your spine.
Right, yeah. So rounding it through that flexion. So you allow your spine to really work from one flex position to next flex position. So exhale out. And this is great for stress because the spine is just this super highway of nerves, and it allows the body to send signals quickly from the brain to the extremities, right? So if you get pricked with a pin, your brain needs to react really quickly to pull your hand away, or touch a hot stove, you need to be able to pull your hand away quickly. So we're going to repeat.
But I notice also, Rachel, sometimes I'm not able to hold my breath, like to do the whole movement all the way up. Is that something that I need to work toward? Or can I just take, you know what I mean? Like when you say inhale, sometimes I can't hold it till it's time to exhale.
Right. And I think the biggest part of it is just doing what's comfortable for you, because if you, again, if your system feels like, hey, we're not breathing, it's going to release stress hormones, right? And so you're actively undoing the process that you're trying to relax your body with. So I would say it's more so the feeling than seeing. I would say that you should really just more so focus on exactly how you said, breathing how you would normally, and as
Mhm.
you grow in the practice, and that's why it's called a yoga practice and not just yoga performance or anything like that, because
Right.
nobody begins yoga and is the most flexible person in the world. It's all just a practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but the reason why in yoga the breathing is important is because conscious breath actively switches off the sympathetic fight or flight system and turns on the parasympathetic system. So when we bring attention to like deep breaths, your body is actively being told that, hey, we're okay, we can relax. If we can breathe deeply, we're not being chased by a boar, and we need shallow breath and can go,
Mm-hmm.
so it's all connected, right? But it's a growth, it's a process. So let's return to this. Again, hands on the side of the chair. We're gonna tilt our head. Well, you know what exactly, Stacey, you know what, let's keep a neutral head. Inhale in, radiate the chest forward. Exhale, round it through. Inhale in, radiate the chest forward. Exhale, round it through. Inhale in, radiate the chest forward. Exhale, round it through. And the beautiful thing, that was the last movement that I wanted to share with you. And I'm going to come a little bit closer to share and move my camera back up.
Okay.
Um, and really the beautiful thing about being able to do these breathing practices, and these stretches in the chair are so important is because sometimes we, unfortunately with work, we're going from Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting and we're back on the computer doing stuff. And so we really need to be able to integrate different practices that can be done in 15 minutes or 10 minutes in between, instead of not doing anything at all, and then just going to bed at night, right? Like it would be ideal that we can get up and go outside for a walk, and to really separate what is work and coming back into our house and what is home, because right now our home is our workplace, right?
Right.
So it's important to be able to really create separation, and this is something that can be very helpful.
You find that the movement and the breathing can create distinct um,
Separation.
separation. I didn't
Right.
even think about that because you know some people in the group are retired, some people are still working.
Right.
I'm one of those that are still working, and everything is literally taking place here
In our homes,
in our
right?
home. So
This
just
is our,
moments can I even now that the girls are doing the distant learning, I used to have this space where I'm at right now used to be like a little mini office setup, and now
right.
I don't have that because I turned it over to them. So I am doing a lot of work sometimes from my bedroom, sometimes from my car,
Mhm.
sometimes because you can't make noise while they're in school. So I have no separation in space at all.
Right. And that's why we get to create that separation just in our minds. Like, and it's so important to, and I keep bringing it up, the sympathetic versus parasympathetic, the fight or flight versus rest and digest, because it's all in your mind, right? Like, if you tell your body, well, if you tell your mind, like, hey, right now we're trying to wind down, your body will respond. And, it's so important. Thanks for joining us, Mia.
Right.
um, so important because the body is just one unit, right? If the mind is being told that it's under duress, it's under stress, it's being chased, it's basically under attack, your body will respond. It's here to keep us safe. It's here to protect us, and
Mhm.
it's literally all in our head. So the moment that we say, "Hey," right now I'm going to wind down. I'm going to get that green tea. I'm going to put on some soothing music. I'm going to play some Sade. I'm a smooth operator. We really get to create these new instances in our body and therefore in our home. So it's really important that we are able to create that separation.
So, Mr. Briggs, what did you hear in all of this? What was your experience? Have you done yoga before, or is this
No,
kind of
no,
like?
no, no. Actually, I have not. I have not. I enjoyed it. I'm not as flexible as I used to be. As I
Really?
was. But nevertheless, it was very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Well, I'm
How do
glad.
you feel after stretching your arms, your neck, and you look a little bit more relaxed?
Yes,
You
yes.
like to do a split, man. I don't believe you're not flexible.
Huh?
I
What
said you look like you can do a split. I don't believe that you're not flexible.
Five passes per days.
I hear you, Papa Briggs.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So Rachel, this was amazing. More than I could ask or imagine. You always step up and give it 110%.
Appreciate
I
it.
can
Appreciate
always
it. Appreciate it.
see.
Appreciate it.
Wow.
Thank
Wow.
you, y'all.
Appreciate it.
Wow.
Yes,
So you guys don't know, well, you don't know this because I didn't say it yet. But like I said, Rachel and I met a few years ago at a leadership program, and in this program, we shared some of our goals. And I have had the opportunity to watch Rachel grow in these goals. And
yes,
one of her newest endeavors is the yoga certification, and she is documenting her journey towards this certification on social media,
yes.
on her Instagram and on YouTube. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how to find you and what you're doing over there?
Now, before Rachel gets to that, probably invite her to join 55 plus, and that way that you could post your information directly onto the group.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I would love that. And I would love to be able to just pop in and share more about those videos because it's truly something that anybody of any age can benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
So exactly that on social media right now on Instagram, my yoga page is WRITE period Rachel. So as Stacy introduced me with, I'm also a writer. And I use the writing and yoga practice jointly together to create healing and vulnerability spaces on Instagram. And also on YouTube, it's also Right Rachel Yoga. So there I am documenting the longer form of the yoga flows. So it's definitely a space that I have recently begun, but I definitely am growing it and creating community. It's beautiful to see the way people are responding to the yoga and just the
And
messaging.
you're awesome, Rachel. You'll make
Thank
me feel
you.
Yes,
Kidding.
you look the part.
Yeah, so and that's important for me because I truly believe and I know that yoga is such a transformative experience. I plan on continuing and really being able to develop it more for the community and also creating trauma response to it as well. So I'm
How long does the
here.
certification take?
Excuse me?
How long does the certification take?
Right. So right now, the one that I'm in is 200 hours. So it's self-paced, obviously, because everything's online with COVID. So you're able to take your time doing it. Usually it would be in person and you can get a lot more hands-on in that way. But I'm so super shocked that there's such an involved community through the 200-hour yoga practice where you're sending videos, you're doing assessments, body assessments, you're practicing, you're critiquing each other through Zoom and things like that. So, I mean, it's an incredibly immersive experience. I'm so grateful.
Yeah. Well, in the group, I've already, for the past, I would say, month and a half or so, I've shared 3 of Rachel's videos. So I'm going to tag them and I'll create a new topic called yoga, which will make it easier to find. And like my dad said, she's going to be joining us and dropping gems from time to time. But this has been an amazing experience. I feel relaxed. I feel relaxed already. I feel like I did something. I feel
Yes,
like
you
I did
did.
something for my body today.
Yeah.
Is there any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
Just that if you are in this page and if you're watching this, you are already involved and interested in your wellness. And that is an amazing jump off point, right? So anything that you add on or choose to do is only going to amplify that. And kudos to you.